Okay, as you know, Charles Dowding has written many books, and the latest book that he has published, and I think, to my opinion, is one of the best, is The Nordic Organic Home and Garden: Grow, Cook, Use, and Store Your Harvest by Charles Dowding and Stephanie Hafferty. They live in Somerset. Charles Dowding, of course, now has started a new garden, small holding garden, since 2012. And Stephanie Hafferty lives nearby, somewhere in the Somerset also, and she has an allotment. And they have cooperated together to make a book, putting talents on cooking and on making things besides growing them together, producing a good book. The book is actually big. It's a large format book. The version that I have is paperback. I think they publish it themselves, have they? No, it's published by a private publisher. It's called Permanent Publications, distributed in USA by Chelsea Green. And the price of the book in the United Kingdom is £19.95, and the United States of America it is £27.95. In Canada, probably is a little bit $30 or something like that. And yeah, we start with the first page of the book. It's a quite large book, and I'm telling you, it's large. And the first year of publication is 2017, so that's this year's publication. It has around page numbers, let me tell you. More than 215 pages. The contents are these. I will go through them just to let you know what are they. Introduction by Charles and Steph, growing skills, where to grow, size of plot, deciding inputs, no-dig, clearing weeds, and ongoing soil care. Sow, plant, space, water, prevent, deal with pests and diseases, DIY potions for your garden, home and body, transforming waste into compost. That's one of the most interesting things you can do with your waste. Longer seasons. That means using polytunnel greenhouses for that, or growing from seed in the cold time and keep it indoors. Storing produce after harvest, storing and preserving your harvest. Saving seeds, food for thought. Top perennial vegetables, top vegetables for roots and leaves, like beetroot or salad greens. Top vegetables for pods and fruits. Salad leaves all year. Growing and using herbs. If you grow herbs, you know, most of the herbs are Mediterranean style. Growing and using edible flowers, some different plants to grow, selling, trading. Is very good advice actually here, because he says practically you cannot live just by selling and things like that. If you are doing on a small, very small scale, it's better to have permanent customers, trying to be on the top of the market, trying to sell things when everything else is not available yet. No other grower has what you have. And bibliography, you have to read that part, that's important. Bibliography, I felt that is actually honest and sincere. Bibliography, websites, suppliers, appendix, and index. Index starting page 230. It's a large format book. I'm telling you, the size of every page is larger than an A4 size paper. So practically you get a lot of material in this. This is Charles Dowding, this is Steph. And they have been, Charles Dowding and Steph have been working since 2012, or before that I have seen in the website that they have, before that even. So, what's the difference between this book and other books that Charles Dowding has published? The biggest difference is that it has advice on how to cook and use the recipes for cooking your own produce, or making things like infusions, oils. And this, I think, is the input by the Charles and Steph together in this part. And I found this one of the best books that ever they have published. Charles has another book, or Nordic Method Organic Way. That was interesting because it had some recipes. But this is more comprehensive, is in full color. Everywhere you see pages are in full color. How to bake bread. That's interesting. And Steph and Charles have courses, and people go on those courses. And of course, it can be residential even. I mean, you live in a nearby village in a bed and breakfast, and they go for the day to the homemakers where they are teaching and showing the garden to you. And Steph makes the food for them. And these are the foods that the Steph makes. They're vegetarian mostly, so everybody can enjoy and eat it from all backgrounds. And even I've seen in Charles Dowding's website that he has put pictures of the guests that they have for these courses. They were Muslim, they were all different backgrounds. So the vegetarian food is good for everyone, so they can eat it easy. And I found this book most comprehensive than any other book. And Steph makes the food for that day. They will have lunch together. Beautiful atmosphere. I must go one day for that course myself with my wife. We have been there once, but it was an open day. And the food that they have is very delicious. It's produced from their own farm. Everything that they have from their smallwood in Charles' garden or Steph's allotment. And this book is the best book that they have published so far. I mean, the most important thing about this, the work that Charles Dowding is doing, is that he is talking about things that he has done. He don't accept things that people say unless he has came to the conclusion that this is valid point. So he's an experimental gardener. I don't agree with part of the biodynamic or the lunar cycle of phases of the moon effect on the plant growing, but that's just me. Probably everybody else doesn't care about that. And Charles Dowding is generally what he does is makes sense. For example, look at it. This is what I do actually. I have a netting over all orchard for protecting the soft fruits and cherries. He recommends here to just use a normal netting over one tree. I have covered the whole orchard, and then use it as a growing coop for the chickens. But this is a very good book. If you want one book to help you through the seasons, I think that should be this book. It's thoroughly, beautifully illustrated with the pictures of the products that Charles Dowding and Steph grow together, and it's beautiful. I love it. And at the same time, they sell this book themselves. You can buy it from themselves. You can help them by just buying it from them. They give you a discount, I think, also. You can buy it from ABE Books or from Amazon if you want. And they're available. I bought it actually cheap, quite cheap. I don't know, £10, £12, something like that. And I bought it with another book that they had. Recently they published. Oh yeah, that was the Charles Dowding Diary. Yeah, and this book is definitely a must-have. I think that if you have not bought any of the books of Charles Dowding, buy this one. This is the best book that they have published. It's the distillation of all the experience of many years that they have. And it's a large format. I'm telling you, this is about 250,000 words. Full of pictures. If you want to buy one book this year, or if you want to give a gift to a gardener this year for Christmas, this is the book. I recommend this. The only thing is that if you wanted to give a gift for Christmas, it would have been nice that it was in a hardback also. But I prefer the softback because that is easier to handle. Holding a big, large format book like that in a hardback on your chest or your lap is not very comfortable. I don't like that, especially when they have sharp edges. But this is definitely a good book if you want to give as a Christmas gift to a gardener. Really good. I recommend it. It's a delightful book.